one of the things that I often tell my students is that I want you to always maintain a healthy sense of skepticism towards any data set as you approach it. And I want to emphasize that point here about healthy sense of skepticism, because what I don't mean to say is that you should just not believe anything you see, because that really would become very absurd and impractical very quickly. But what I do mean to say is that you don't just accept something that because it's in a data set, therefore it must be gospel truth. It's you have to just accept it at face value, and there are so many reasons for that, and I will not try to conquer all of those or even approach all of those in this single little video, although this is something I'd like to expand upon in some subsequent stuff. For right now, I want to tell you a very quick and true story. Every single day, I have to fill out something called the health accountability check. So I get an email and I have to answer some questions. Am I coming to campus that day? And then if I am, there's some follow-on questions about my health. And so the questions are all here. I won't read them or describe them. You can see them. They're right in front of you. But it just becomes a routine thing. And it's something that is done 7 days a week. It's been something that we've been doing since the pandemic started. So one day, I got into the office and I had just been up way too late grading, and maybe hadn't had my coffee yet, or maybe I had too much coffee. I'm not even sure what happened. But I went in because I knew this was just like a check the block kind of item I had to get through for the day. And I, very quickly, while not really paying very close attention, just went through and the so-called right answers to all of them. I mean, the right answer is to be honest and be truthful, but my answer on a normal day is just no to all of these. So just no, 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 all the way down the line, hit submit, okay, now move on to the next thing. But on that day, as I said, I made all those excuses earlier. I just, for whatever reason, wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize it at the time, but I went through and I checked yes to all of them. So, and I didn't even notice that I had done it. So I did that. I hit submit, and then I got some email with some health warning on it, and I just was preoccupied by something else. Didn't really pay attention to that. But not very long afterwards, I got a phone call, and it was from some kind of a BU health office, and they're asking me, "Are you Gregory Page?" Well, yeah, sure. Well, is everything okay? Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Do you realize you answered yes to every single question on the health questionnaire survey? I had no idea. So let's think about what happened. There was human error. It was my error answering yes to every single question. Could be, as I said earlier, as part of it is me just being distracted, preoccupied by too many other things, being tired. Another thing is, it's something that I had done hundreds of other times. So there's like a little bit of a survey fatigue that sets in. And someone thankfully responded to it. For one thing, it shows how impressive their system is, that someone caught that, or that something in the system flagged it, I should say. And then I got a call so promptly thereafter. But I was able to very quickly explain what happened. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, a little bit embarrassed. I went back in, filled it back out with the correct answers, which truly and honestly were no to all of them. And that was it. So my survey data for that day was corrected, and life goes on, and you might be thinking, what's the big deal? What's the point of this whole story? There isn't that much of a point beyond what I said, but for a brief moment in time, in the amalgamation of data related to this whole project, there was a moment where on that day, at that time, a professor on campus had checked yes to every single one of those. And it wasn't true, but it happened by mistake. And that's just a quick little tale of how things like that can happen. Survey answers can be entered mistakenly. Sometimes people are distracted, not paying attention, or they're misreading something. Who knows how it happens? And the point of all that is just remember that is really the point. In the grand scheme of things, if a survey is well designed, and this one certainly is, that's just going to be a little blip in an ocean of other data. But as I said, I'm going to try to cover more angles around the idea of data skepticism in some other videos, but this is just one little anecdotal tale of how something can go wrong in terms of how how information is represented in data, and why it causes something to appear a certain way when the reality is not that way. And that's it. On that note, I'll end it, and thank you for listening.